So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to speak with you, and I'll introduce you. This is Dr. Lisa Martin, and Dr. Martin is a licensed clinical psychologist, and I'll say no relation, right? We just both happen to be friends. And Dr. Lisa Martin is also a consultant and a facilitator. She does diversity, equity, and inclusion work and trauma-informed change work. So welcome, Dr. Martin. It's terrific having you.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you.
Thank you. So I know that you and I have discussed Mary Pender Greene's book, Creative Mentorship and Career Building Strategies, How to Build Your Virtual Personal Board of Directors. And I had a few really specific questions that I wanted to ask you. And so thank you for being here for that. So what was it like for you to form your virtual personal board of directors?
Well, I think when the concept was first floated to me and then I got the book, what I realized is that I was using some people. I had some relationships in my life that were similar to a board of directors, but this really helped me to be more intentional about the support that I had, to be more thoughtful about it, to support and nurture those relationships. And that really, there's a two-way work in those relationships as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrific. And did anything really surprise you about it? Like, what would you say was the biggest surprise for you about your virtual personal board of directors?
Yeah, I think that it was healing in a way when I started to be more intentional and focused on those relationships. You know, as a Black professional woman, it can sometimes be isolating and lonely when you're in all white spaces. And through this work, I was able to feel that I was never alone. Even when I was the only one in a room, I had these people, mostly also women of color, who had my back, who saw me and my strength and my potential. And I think that was and has continued to be invaluable.
That's terrific. That is absolutely terrific. How would you say having a virtual personal board of directors has impacted your career?
Well, I think the biggest, most recent one is that it got me to move out of New York and into Florida. About 6 months before the pandemic hit, I was really struggling with the decision about leaving New York, leaving the way that I was working there, and then moving to where my family is in Tampa, Florida. And it was a big decision. I talked to a lot of folks on my board, and people really made good space for me. But one of the things that I value about my board is that they are really invested in me having a whole life, that my life isn't just about work. And if it were up to me alone, my life would just be about work. So it was really good to have people to push me and say, you can take a risk and you'll land on your feet. And so then I took that risk, and it's been the best thing for my family, the best thing for me, career-wise also, as well as just overall health-wise. So I think pushing me outside of my comfort zone to take risks has really been the most surprising.
That's terrific, Dr. Martin. I love that. Okay, and how would you say it's impacted, having your virtual personal board of directors impacted your professional decision-making process?
I think I slowed down more. I've also learned more about myself, right? And that my tendency would be to sort of leap and jump into some decisions without being able to sit back and look again more holistically at how a certain decision will impact me, impact my family, impact my body and my spirit. And so I think that having my board allows me to step back, slow down, and get a lot of different perspectives on how it will impact me as a whole.
I love that. That's so important. I feel like we so often are, especially women who have careers and have all this education, it's so easy to become so focused on that and lose sight of the other portions and parts of us in our lives. I love that you're putting voice to that, and that this has helped you to think about things that way. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and just to add to that too, I also learned from them that I don't have to do everything. I don't always have to say yes. and I can
Mhm.
advocate for myself and what I deserve. I think as a Black woman that I don't, you know, my parents were not able to really guide me career wise. And so
Mhm.
having this support to be like, no, this is how much you should be charging per hour,
Right.
right? I mean, I had no idea who to, you know, without this board, who would I go to for
Right.
those sorts of nitty gritty answers? And boy, every time I'm way off what I should be doing,
Mhm. I
right?
love it.
So
Yeah. Mhm. I love it, and I can relate fully.
yeah.
Um, so what would you say, Lisa, what would you say is a single educational piece of learning that impacted you the most regarding Mary's book?
Wow. Um, I think one of the things I do keep going back to, she has a lot of worksheets in there that you
Mhm.
to, again, this process of slowing down and reflecting on your goals and your pathway.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
think just that as a regular practice, even like a quarterly practice, is really helpful to be like,
Mhm.
am I still aligned with my goals? Am I still
Yeah.
connected to my strengths? Am I still moving in a direction that feels just aligned,
Yeah.
aligned? And so I
Absolutely.
think really that the educational learning is the tools that she gives throughout the book.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa Martin. You're
Thank
absolutely
you.
terrific. And it's a pleasure to know you and communicate with you in any way. So, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you. So nice to see you. And this is awesome what you're doing.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.